So yesterday I was one rep maxing with my friends and I hit 115 kg on the bench press. And I think, do you know what? It was quite an impressive lift. And it got me thinking, I should make a video about this because, my bench press was decently higher than my friends who are about the same age but had been training for slightly less. So I thought, what stuff am I telling them that would be useful for people to hear if they want to improve their bench press? So first of all, is doing flat bench and incline dumbbell bench as your two main exercises and alternating between them from one week to another or from one push day to another. Now, the reason why I say this is because these two exercises are the most loved, and for me, they were the most effective, but I found that I made even more gains when I only did one of them on a push day, because that means I could go all the way, really push them on both rather than doing bench first and being a bit fatigued for incline dumbbell bench. Obviously, benching every single week may help you get used to the movement, but I don't think benching, let's say, once every 2 weeks is going to be less of an advantage to you in terms of actually practicing lifting heavier weights. If you're only one rep maxing, as you should, once every 4 to 6 months, let's say, then you don't need to be benching each week, slowly pushing heavier and heavier weight. The most important thing is training your chest and getting your chest used to those heavy weights, and making sure as well that you're training different parts of your chest, which the incline dumbbell bench helps you to do. My second piece of advice is to use cheat reps towards the end of your sets. Now, I'll show some videos to highlight what I mean by this, but you can use things like leg drive or pushing your hips forward or slightly compromising on form on things like bench press and incline dumbbell press without it ever really being too dangerous, as long as you have a spotter. And this allows you to make sure that you are absolutely fatiguing your chest and making sure that it has nothing left in the tank when you finish a set. And you got to remember as well, this is heavy weight. Sometimes you're benching your own body weight. Using a little bit of leg drive or arching your back, pushing your hips forward, that may help the weight. That may help you get the weight up a bit, but your chest is always going to be doing the majority of the work because it's such a massive weight right in front of your chest. So you'll always be training your chest, even if scientifically it may not be that optimal. In third place, I've got what I'm calling the 4 to 6 rep max, where, it is what it says on the tin. When you bench, obviously, doing a 1 rep max each week is not going to be particularly effective, but doing a 4 to 6 rep max is. And then once you can hit a certain weight for 6 reps, then add slightly more to whatever you were benching. And next week, okay, right, so if I've done 90 for 6, now I want to do 92.5 or 95 for 4 or 5. And then once you get that for 6, you're slowly building it up. And that, to me, was far more effective than doing the conventional 8 to 12 or 6 to 10 rep range. If you drop the reps slightly, make sure you have a spotter there and keep on going until, you do the rep that you can't get up. As long as your spotter is decently strong compared to you, there'll be no danger they can pull it up. And this allows you to really, really, really not only push yourself, but bridge the gap between your usual working sets and a 1 rep max that you want to really work towards and hit, even though it could be way higher than the weights you're doing for your working set. Number 4, setting a numerical goal. Now, in the gym, this is quite easy when it comes to the 100 kg bench press because everyone wants it, but then after that, less so. However, you can just give your own importance to any number after that, either by doing things with friends, which is what I'm doing right now, is we'll say, okay, right, we're doing our 1 rep max here, then we're going to come back in 3, 4, 5 months and we're going to do our 1 rep max and we're going to see how much we can improve. And naturally, because obviously you want to show off your gains to your friends, that's gonna, or at least to me, that has helped me to assign importance to my next goal, which is 125. Something like 125 kg is not normally a desirable or a goal that people are thinking about and attaching importance to. Usually it's just 100, 140, but the gap between 100 and 140 kilos is huge. So have those small individual goals. And if you don't usually train with anyone, then you can assign something else that you can, let's say, have or give yourself once you hit that goal. It can be, I don't know, a present or a meal, a day out, whatever. Make sure you put importance to that goal, and then you should be more motivated to hit it. Finally, yes, don't exhaust yourself before your heaviest working sets. Obviously, when it comes to bench press and when it comes to the other compound movements, people feel like they need to warm up, and you should warm up, but I think you should do very little warm up. The only purpose of your warm up for bench press, in my opinion, should be to get used to the movement and to get used to the weight. And this does not necessarily need lots of sets or sets of high reps. What I would do, let's say you're benching 80, I would do 40 for 3 reps, 60 for 2 reps, 70 for 1 rep, and then resting very little between. You've basically done 6 reps, and you've gotten your body progressively used to the movement and used to the feeling of the weight being there. But I don't think it's necessary to do 6, 7, 8 reps of 10 kg below your working set, and that can sometimes just exhaust you. And it's something I used to do, and now that I've stopped doing it, I've noticed that I've been able to bring so much more intensity to my working sets, which ultimately are allowing me to push further towards a heavier and heavier 1 rep max goal. So yeah, those are the tips I would say. Obviously, there's loads and loads of information on how to improve your bench press. So I didn't want to give the conventional advice because that's already out there. So these are the slightly more unusual and less heard of pieces of advice that I would give, and it's what worked for me. May not work for everyone, but I hope that some people find this useful.